SoulMate with Brian. Hannah Lee, it's great to have you in our studio today. Welcome to SoulMate with Brian.
Thank you. So I'm your soulmate? I'm supposed to be your soulmate?
Yes, you're my soulmate.
Oh yeah, I am actually.
Yes. It's great to have you here today because we share a lot of similarities, right?
We do, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And for our global audience today, could you just introduce yourself? Just tell us a little bit about yourself, Hannah.
Okay. Hello everyone, Shalom. My name is Hannah Lee. Well, in Korean, like it pronounces Hannah Lee. So people think my surname is He, and some people call me Nari, but it's actually Hannah Lee. I'm a singer, electric violinist, and I am originally from New Zealand. So I've been ministering in Korea for 11 years, and then I went back to New Zealand 5 years ago, and I wanted to come back so bad, but because of COVID, I just couldn't make it back to Korea. So it's been 4 to 5 years since I was last back, and it's been about 7 years since I last saw you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I praise God using my talent, singing, praise, and performing on the violin, on the hoverboard, the world's unique electric violinist playing on the hoverboard.
I want to ask you about the hoverboard.
The hoverboard.
How did you start using the hoverboard and playing violin on the hoverboard? I can't even say it, hoverboard, but just tell us about that.
Yes, I always get inspiration of performance from everywhere, including like the opening ceremonies of Olympics and all that. And when I saw like Kim Yeona, the figure skater, figure skating on the ice, I always dreamt of performing, having my concert on ice with all the back dancers as figure skaters, and me skating and playing the violin. It was so cool, right? So I practiced hard, but it was just impossible. It was just too dangerous. It wasn't a dangerous idea, but I didn't give up on it. And then one day, 무한도전, that program, TV show, Jung Joon-ha was on the hoverboard and he was rapping on the hoverboard. And I was like, oh, that kind of, feels like, rapping on the ice skate. That gives the, similar feeling. So that's it. So I hired a hoverboard and I practiced a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, on the car park and in the parks, out in the parks and all that. And I practiced violin, playing the violin on it.
Wow.
And I mastered it.
Yeah.
And in my last concert in Korea before I left, my dream kind of came true, half of it, because I made my co-workers, the electric guitarist and the bassist, to practice on the hoverboard just like me. And then 3 of us performed on the hoverboard, just like playing in the ice, on the ice.
Did you ever fall down?
When I was practicing, yes, I did so many times. I mean, have you ever tried?
I don't want to try.
Yeah, you should not.
That's for you, Hannah, not for me. I'm getting older now, so.
I mean, it's impossible even to actually balance yourself on the hoverboard from the first place.
Wait, so
it's
I'm not really
dangerous.
familiar with the hoverboard. So so what's on the bottom? Are there wheels or what? No wheels.
So wheels on the sides.
On the side, okay.
Yeah. And the platform, it's really flat, and you put the feet on the platform, and then you have to control with the weight of yourself. So if you want to go forward, you have to put your weight towards the front, and then if you want to go backwards, to the back.
Does it move by its? How does it move though?
So I have to control it.
So you can go forward and backwards?
Yeah, and then
Wow.
make curves and stuff, and that was my dream, and half of it came true.
Yes.
Yeah, I have another dream. You know what?
What else? You have so many dreams.
No, just one more. Playing the electric violin, flying for the first time in the world.
Flying?
Yeah.
So how? What?
On
an
a
airplane?
human drone.
Drone.
On a drone.
In the
yes.
sky?
In the sky, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
I mean, there are some people doing it above the sea because it's really dangerous. But someone will develop it and make it perfect so I can.
Maybe Elon Musk, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, my dream, another dream is to fly as I play.
So I asked you to introduce yourself, and you have so many dreams, and it's hard to call you one specific thing, right? You're an electric violinist. You use a hoverboard. You're gonna fly in the air soon.
Yeah.
You're also a singer. You're also an author. You're also a mother. You're also a what else? Dancer.
A dancer, yes, yes, I can say.
But you are an entertainer, but yet for the glory of God.
For the glory of God, of course.
My first, or I guess my next question is,
Right.
so what brought you back to Korea this time around? Because you're living in New Zealand right now.
Yes, yes, yes.
What brought you back?
Well, before I left back to New Zealand, I was performing too many times, and my schedule was just crazy, and because where we go, like churches and to schools, mission schools, and like army bases, the monitor environment isn't so good, and when I can't hear myself, I ought to use too much pressure on my right arm.
Oh, really?
Because I do fast and vigorous music, right? So I go, and I hurt myself for a long time.
Yeah.
So I didn't get any treatment, and then my right arm was used up. It was in pain every time I performed after. So I wanted to go back to New Zealand to take a rest. But then, because of COVID,
Right,
kind of
you couldn't
stopped
come
me.
back for a while.
Yes. But during my break, my good God gave me the present, which was my daughter. So I got pregnant, and that's when I became the author, when I wrote the book. And then, because COVID is almost over in New Zealand, everywhere in the world, right? I prayed, and God brought me back to Korea. Just for a short time, but just for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
But I'll have to go back to New Zealand.
Right.
But I will be coming back and forth from time to time now.
So because me living in America before, and Korea back and forth, I know the pros and cons, right?
Right,
Korea is just so busy, right?
So busy.
Especially for artists like ourselves.
Right,
Even even as Christian artists, we're so busy, right?
We're busy, yes.
But I'm assuming maybe in New Zealand you're more maybe laid back.
Yeah,
Just tell us a little bit about the advantages or the blessings that you've
Right,
experienced in
right.
New Zealand.
Okay. Population is just so small.
Oh, really?
Yeah, compared to Korea, it's so small. And because of that small population, like during COVID, there were many death rate. There wasn't a high death rate, and they just blocked the border, and we were like the safest country. So we were kind of safe and free from COVID, because there aren't many people around, so it's really like natural, friendly environment. And the air is just so fresh, and so much less traffic jam, for sure. So it's really a good country to raise your kids. Yeah.
To raise kids, yeah.
Yeah. Your kid as well.
How about spiritually?
Spiritually,
Yeah.
well,
For you, or I guess for the country, it's maybe different, but
right.
you just share a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, national anthem consisted of this lyric. Goes, God defend New Zealand. So it's like 하느님, like in Korea, it's God, actually God, our God. So it was a country that sent out the most missionaries out, right? 30 years ago.
Oh, 30 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, but now because of the social welfare and so laid back and
Nature and great living.
good environment, people are leaving churches now, and churches are being sold to restaurants and bars and clubs and stuff, which is really sad. So people are now leaving churches. There aren't many young people in the church anymore, and it's really sad. So spiritually, I don't think it's a good country to live in.
It's very ironic,
Yeah.
because the better a country becomes and is great to live in,
Right?
we lose side of
Faith,
God,
right?
and we don't need God.
We don't need God.
You know, and actually because of that, I'm kind of worried about Korea as well.
Korea
you know?
as well, right?
Yeah, Korea has excelled in all over the world with K-pop and
Yes,
K-drama
yes,
and K-food, and but it feels like we're going the same path as
Yeah,
New Zealand.
yes,
You know,
yes,
losing
yes.
our next generation. You know, so
It's really sad.
and that's because
yeah.
people like us, people like
Yeah.
you, is very important. You know, this
Yes.
season.
Yes, I think that's why God sent me back to New Zealand 5 years ago. But now COVID is over, like I am looking forward to God, using me a lot more in New Zealand. Yes.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit more about your music ministries, and maybe how you started,
Right.
Yeah.
So I grew up in New Zealand since I was 11. How old were you when you left Korea to the States?
Me?
Yeah.
I was 4 years old
4.
in Korean age.
Right.
I went
All
to
right.
Korea.
So you
I
were
was
younger.
about 3 in American
3.
age.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I was 11. So
11,
I was,
okay.
Yeah, that's why my Korean,
Korean
is
is
a bit
better than
than
mine.
yours.
Yes, you win.
Tiny bit.
You're better than me. Korean and hoverboard, you win.
Well,
And violin. I'm sorry.
And you're older, you win.
Oh yeah, Right.
And we're mature, and you're the head of all the organizations, and wow, it's amazing.
But no hoverboard.
Don't even try.
Yeah, I won't try. So
yeah,
you,
so,
when you were 11 years old.
Yes. So my teenage was a bit tough, fighting over racism, all that.
Really?
Yeah, yes, it was really bad. So, but that's when God actually came to me and touched my heart, and He showed me that He really did exist. And when I lost my identity, He told me, "You're neither New Zealander nor Korean. You belong to me. You're God's daughter." That was my ultimate identity.
Yes, amen.
So that's when I first had that encounter with God.
And when was that? Around what age? As a teenager?
Yeah, 17-ish, yes. And then after I finished all my studies, I wanted to use my talent, musical talent, my violin skills to glorify God. So in order to reach out to more people, more variety of people, like including teenagers, I thought electric violin doing pop music would work better, could be used a bit more than classical violin. So I wanted to learn to play the electric violin, and I searched, and there was Eugene Park. You know Eugene Park, right? Yeah. Crazy genius electric violinist pioneer. So I got in touch with him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, with his manager first. And then he said, "Oh, come along to Korea. You can just play along with Eugene Park and learn from him." So I came out to Korea to play with him, to learn from him. And then I toured like all over the country with him, with his management and all that, but it was a really tough time adapting into the new culture, Korean culture and all that, and it was really hard. And then after a month time, they brought me the contract, like 3-year contract, like Noegek slavery, and I didn't want to sign it because there's no way I could glorify God if I signed the contract and did whatever they asked me to do or forced me to do.
Right.
So I didn't sign it, and I left that management in Eugene Park. And then I was gonna go back to New Zealand, and so I prayed, "God, what should I do? Should I go back to New Zealand or stay? Or what am I going to do in Korea without the management and all that?" And then God gave me an opportunity to perform at a church for the first time. That's when I met my second manager, who was a pastor. And he was really impressed, and he wanted to really support me and help me out. And he became my manager. The pastor became my manager. So he introduced me to churches and mission schools. That's how I became a CCM artist.
Yeah.
Doing secular music first and to sacred music. And that's when God started me to be his artist, be his musician, and be the gospel sharer.
Wow, that's amazing because a lot of people, they just want to do secular, right? You know, they just want to,
that
you know,
they
be
do.
more famous and be known by like everyone, right?
Everyone,
and,
yeah.
and you know, that's not a bad thing, obviously. You know, God can use that.
Right.
But
That
you,
was my first intention.
your first intention. But then
Right.
through these circumstances, you realize,
That's right.
yeah, for you, God called you as a
Right.
Christian, mission-minded, you know, violinist and artist, right?
Yeah, because I'm weak. God knew exactly how I would turn out if I did secular music and like became famous and
Yeah,
earned
and you would not
more
like
money.
return my phone call. I'd be like, Hannah, what's going
Exactly.
on? You'd be like, who are you, Brian?
Reject, right?
You can't even use the hoverboard, you know? You're like, I don't know who you are. Yeah. But thankfully, right? But
Yes.
God knew you specifically, and
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So like for 10 years, I was afraid when I got phone calls from like secular companies and secular events because they would pay me a lot, but I know if I, you know, started, then I would not go back to the Christian ministry. So I just rejected it all.
yeah.
I knew that was what God wanted me to do. So I just.
But how
did.
are you able to make the decision? Because some people, it's hard, you know?
Yeah, it is.
If they give you money,
Right.
and you know, if it's better
But
for
I've
your career.
Yeah, I've experienced it first with playing with Eugene Park. You know how secular music turns out, and I knew exactly where I would end up. That's how I could. Of course, I prayed every day. Every time I received that, you know, love calls, I prayed, should I go or not? Should I go or not? But every time it was a no.
But God gave you the strength,
Strength.
and
Yeah, of course.
the confidence to surrender and depend on Him.
Right.
And thankfully,
Yeah.
right, praise God, God's led you on an amazing journey. God's blessed you to be a blessing.
He has, of course. I mean, I'm not just performing before Christians only because we go to mission schools
Right,
and
right.
other events, and there's so many non-Christians out there. So we're actually reaching out to non-Christians as well, right?
We actually share a similar
We did.
journey because, you know, I did K-pop too for a little bit.
Right,
and
right.
I signed a contract.
Yeah.
And on the contract, I actually wrote to be able to do mission work and church ministry.
Right.
And it was in the contract.
Right.
But once I got more popular on the main channels and
Right.
on the internet, my CEO, and he said, don't go
No,
to churches,
right?
don't do
Yeah.
mission work. And that's when I said, and I'm
No.
going to stop doing
Okay,
that. So,
yeah, of course.
you know, we share a similar journey.
We do.
You know?
Yes,
Yeah, that's
yes,
amazing.
yes. Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of SoulMate with Brian. It's great to be with you guys, and thank you for coming with us on this journey. We ask that you would continue to subscribe, click the bell button, and we ask that you would leave comments as well. Thank you for your support, and God bless you.